So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. You do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
I'm in such
What
a
did I
fucking
walk
mood, dude.
into?
This is the show. This is the. So I just want to say thank you very much to all of our viewers. This is obviously our last show, and
reminder: this is TVMA, and this is why we have to throw this graphic up pretty often.
Not Near Mint is a show designed for audiences over the age of 18. If you're a viewer under the age of 18, please stop watching Not Near Mint. It's not that we don't want you as a fan. It's just that we'll probably get in trouble if you watch us.
Yeah.
Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Near Mint. It's episode 61, and we have a very special guest tonight. His name is Peter Reek, and we have the rest of the panel. Let's bring him in. Starting off, Lady Fantastic.
Hello, hello. It's very nice to see you this evening. Thanks everybody for coming out, and I'm ready to talk to Peter about his new Kickstarter.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And we also have Miracleman.
Yes, you are all graced with my presence yet again.
We're so lucky.
Aren't you, though?
Mm-hmm.
Hello to Lady. Hello to Rob. Hello to the wonderful Not Near Mint audience. Thank you so much for joining us for what I promise will be a very saucy episode.
And now, how about we welcome our very special guest? Please welcome Peter Reek.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. And how are you doing today, sir?
Good. It's not too late here. I think it's late. It's a different time zone for everybody. So
where are you hailing out of? What state?
Vancouver, BC, Canada. So close to Seattle.
Got it.
Oh, you're all the way on the other coast. Oh, so it's early, and we're pretty much prime time now. So you are free to say whatever you want. And speaking of saying what you want, you have a new project coming up. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I've got a new project. It's called Ghosts Are People Too. It's a kid's book, but it's in the veins of Edward Gorey's work and Tim Burton. So adults would like some of the humor, some of the dark humor as well. So something you can read with your kids, but it's kind of more to a young audience. And it's to teach kids not to be afraid of ghosts. So you're presented to Ethan Albee, who's our main character, and he tells you what he calls the living spooky people. And he tells us why he's afraid of humans, like the living, not humans, because we're all humans. And just like this image right there, like he says that at night sometimes we dress up in really weird costumes that are really freaky, and he doesn't understand why, and he really scares the shit out of him. And also, so it's just to not be afraid of things you don't understand, that you don't know. Take the time to learn from them, and this can be applied to not only the supernatural. So it's a nice message, and I think everyone needs a reminder of that at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very valid point. Very valid point.
Thanks.
So, Miracleman, I know that you've read some of his prior works leading up to this. So, do you want to fill him in on some of the things that you've read up to this point?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got on board with Once Our Land when it came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that Scout that originally published that?
Yeah, I originally did a Kickstarter, and then Scout messaged me through the Kickstarter, and then after the Kickstarter, we released it with Scout, and it was like the biggest sellout at that time. And we've gone through 4 publications, and then I did the second Once Our Land. And then I did another book called King's Vengeance, and then this is my 3rd book, but this one is different from the other ones because it's not a comic book.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more format-wise. When I was looking at it, and thank you very, very much for the copy to have a read through. It's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
The book kind of reminded me of maybe like the same format and size as the old-fashioned little golden books.
The old-fashioned golden books. Which
Do you remember those? They would typically be kids' tales. They would have like a gold foil down the spine. It would be like old Mother Hubbard or fairy tales and
right. Yeah, I wanted to do something like that. If the Kickstarter does really, really well, I'd probably try and do something with like a little thing. On the spine you can have that little thing to count the pages, like to remember where you are.
The ribbon.
I want to do that with maybe something silver to make it look really old, but hopefully we do sell a lot of books and we could do that. But for the moment, I try to keep it simple. At least it's hardcover, and it was very much inspired by Edward Gorey's books. When I was at a bookstore a couple of years ago or 2 years ago, I saw that book again, and I was looking around, and there was nothing else that was kind of morbid and really cool that even adults would like. And I thought, why isn't anybody else doing this? So I took it upon myself to do something a bit similar. Yeah.
So I just want to pull up.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to pull up real quick and show everybody. I have some images from the original Kickstarter for Once Our Land up here. I was just going to show those real fast. So, I as I said, I read this book when it came out, and I read the sequel, which was a kind of a nice little shift from the first to the second one. Real basic premise for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to read this book is essentially the apocalypse. Space aliens got us, or something. Monsters are roaming the land. I don't want to try and give away too much here. Monsters are roaming the land. And what was the era when this happened? What year was it?
It's 1830s Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing a horrible job. Can I ask you to explain Once Our Land?
Yeah, it's a graphic novel. It takes place in 1830s Germany. It's inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's creatures, and it's about these monsters that start roaming the earth, and almost all the humans are dead. And Ingrid is an 11-year-old girl. She's a survivor, and she meets Fritz, who's about 54, and they start a friendship, and they try and defeat the monsters, and they meet other friends along the way. And it's a book about survival inspired by Lovecraft and Spielberg, aliens, but for kids, as if it was made for kids. Just all adventure animation and comic books.
I'll say I am a connoisseur of post-apocalyptic literature and comics. I mean, if the world has been destroyed in a story, I want to read it. And so when I came across this and picked it up, it was an automatic pickup for me. But I read it, and I was genuinely, it's not, when you're a fan of a genre, particularly something as, I hate to say overdone, but something that has been done as many times as an apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic tale, it's rare you see something that stands out as new and different.
Oh, thanks.
And Once Our Land really did. I mean, it really stands out. So for everybody in the audience who hasn't read that book, I can give you my 100% approval and tell you, man, get that book. That either one of them is fantastic. There was a 1 and a 2. They're fantastic stories.
Yeah.
What books do you what comics do you read, or like what comics do you like reading if you're still
Yeah, I still read. I really like Hilda, that kids book that they made an animation TV show with.
Helga?
Yeah.
Oh, the old
And
French series.
no, it's new. It's I don't know where it's from, but it's a new series about a girl who lives in a town, kind of like Gravity Falls, or Erie, Indiana, where there's a lot of weird stuff and creatures. I really like Fist of the North Star, Preacher, Akira, Battle Angel, Alita. They made a terrible job with the movie, but the original comic is so good. If only they made the movie the first.
It introduced the
novel.
world to Battle Angel. I mean, even the OVA
Yeah.
was a little ham-handed in the portrayal, but at least it gave the world an opportunity to see who Alita was. And now with the next movie, they could further on with the manga series, which no one has ever seen in a movie or anime, anything. I'm sorry, I'm going on.
I mean, you say that, but in 1992, the greater world was introduced to the Punisher, and I think that did more harm to the character than good.
But the Dolph Lundgren one?
Dolph Lundgren. I mean, I loved it, but let's be honest.
I loved it as a kid, too. I thought it was so badass.
Oh, we were
I kept waiting for the end for them to put on the Punisher skull, and it never happened.
Right? That's true.
That would not have made it a better movie, Rob.
Yeah.
So
there's Keeper of the Macer. I don't know if you know that one. It's European. It's a post-apocalyptic future. I don't know. I have to look in my. Oh, I really like the L'Oreal graphic novel. It's a biopic. And then there's one about Andy Kaufman that was really good. The guy who did the Tetris book and Andre the Giant book. It's the same author and illustrator.
Have you ever read Herman's Jeremiah?
I don't think so.
If you're a fan of apocalyptic comics, he was a Dutch creator. It was just translated into English, I think, for the first time 10 years ago. Wow. Dark Horse did a beautiful hardcover collection. The coloring on it is exceptionally unique. It was obvious, Dutch comics. I mean, who in America has ever seen Dutch comics, or who in the West has seen Dutch comics before? So it was kind of cool to see it.
Mm-hmm. We get Noble Weeks.
Remind me through email, so I'll definitely pick it up. I go to my local comic shop all the time. So.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. Mm-hmm. So tell us what if we knock this, if this Kickstarter gets knocked out of the park, and everybody rushes to buy this book. Do you have some great upgrades in mind, or do you have some ideas to do for some stretch goals or anything like that?
So what do you do with I have more prizes. I don't have stretch goals that I've listed, but the quality of the book would get better. But you do have options. So if you spend more money, you can get a personalized doodle in the book. And then if you spend even more money, you can get on an illustration board so you can frame it onto your wall. The little cute ghost, it'll be in stippling. So my book is all done with dots, pointillism, and that takes a lot of time. And I really want the book to look timely, like very old-timey. And so I'll be doing that style. And then you can also get Wonderland 1 and 2, and then a King's Vengeance if you spend more money. And then the biggest one I have right now is $300, and you get, if you look at the illustrations in the book, they take at least 2 days to make, and you can get an image of the book, it would look like the book, and that's probably the biggest one yet. But like I said, if we do make a lot of money, I'll just spend more and more money on making the book, look really, really old and expensive, like the gold trim and all that. But I didn't mention it because the book is going to look great either way. It'll be a thick hardcover, and the pages are going to be thick.
Yeah, I mean that there, just the basic mock-up that you have right there. I don't know if you have that up, Rob. But that basic mock-up on the book right there, that looks fantastic. I have a background in bookbinding, so looking at that, I want to feel it. I want to grab and hold that book. looks like you can have some nice texture to it. I want to touch your book, Peter, is what I'm trying to say.
And also, like, I would like trying to make it embossed, so it just feels really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan. So that's the ghost I'm showing. So if you do the if you can get the 5x5 or 8x8 ghost with stippling, so all those dots are all done by hand. So I'd be doing one of those for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. And it has a simple look to it, but it looks simple, but you can tell that there's a lot of craftsmanship going into drawing that.
Yeah. She's like the pointillism or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
So I'll be honest with you.
Look, like classic, timeless.
I have the issues of 1 and 2 here, but this is the one I kind of think I want to go with, because I could use all of that stuff right there.
Oh, you could use it.
I could use all of that.
How are you
that should be it should be in my life, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Got it.
How would he use it?
Say again.
How would he
hit the lock with it or something? It's not like a tool.
So now that you're working on this one, is there anything else out there? Obviously, we have the King's Vengeance, which that looked really cool. I got to read that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I got to ask you, so only the first book of that is out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is supposed to be revealed in the future or something, so obviously please don't ruin the entire plan you have for your books here on our show. But is it the future that's reverted, or is it kind of like an alternate timeline in that story?
Oh, it's an alternate timeline.
Okay.
Yeah. And the series of the first story is 3 books, and I didn't sell very much, so I don't have a fan base to do the second and third. And even though I figured out a style that's really great and I could work pretty fast, I didn't have to hire any help. And I got so excited. The action scenes I was so happy with, and the response of the people who have read it is very positive. But it was my worst Kickstarter yet, so
really?
I put it on hold until I'm thinking of maybe doing a animated trailer and seeing if that catches on. But right now there's no plan on making it, even though I have another 3 books story that I want to do for it that are all great, some of the best stories I think I've done. But if I can't take a couple months off to work on something and then be left on the street.
Right.
Not in 2020.
Sorry?
Not in 2020.
No, not right now. Yeah.
Making comics is as the greats have said, comics will break your heart. They'll also leave you eating a lot of ramen and hot dogs. From what I hear. But honestly, guys, if you've seen this book, or if you have any interest in this book, or if you go and they take a look and you're going, I don't know if I want to take it with this. I read this book. This was friggin' cool. I don't know if you can tell here, Rob. You have the share screen up
right now.
I don't know if you guys can tell from this image right here, but this fella is using a sword to just slice this guy's arm right in half.
That's not that shot, but his arm is already sliced there. But
okay.
Very action heavy, not that much dialogue. Kind of inspired by Samurai Jack and Conan, the first one with Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make it. All my books are made so you're never really questioning what you're reading. I just want it to be really easy to just flip the page and make it really fun to read, because there's some comic books that I read and I have to reread a couple times and I'm just really confused. And my favorite ones like Akira and Preacher, I just flip those pages so fast and I'm enjoying it so much. And that's what I try and achieve all the time.
Yeah. I honestly, I read this one and I took a feel away from it. It was kind of had some anime influences. It kind of had some, some obviously the Conan influences are very obvious. I even felt just maybe a little hint of the Fallout giant mech suits type of influence on that there.
And
Very
a lot
cool
of
story.
Mignola.
Yes.
Yeah, Hellboy was a huge inspiration because I didn't know how I was going to do this on time, and just seeing it, reminding myself how Mike Mignola uses limited shading, a lot of blacks, most of it is inked shading, so then you don't have to do any details. So it just like came together really quick, and some of my best work, I think.
Yeah, I'm very upset I missed this one. I don't even know how this one snuck by me. It wasn't even all that long ago.
No.
So what was your process coming together on something like that? Just to think about the materials going into it, much less how it would correlate to the story. I mean, what's going on in your mind as this is coming together?
Well, for Akin's Benches, it's an idea I had since I was 10 years old. And then with one of my writing partners, I pitched him the idea, and then 10 years ago, we came up with something, and then it was supposed to be a feature film, and it would have been too expensive to make, that I would never have been able to make it. So it just sat on the shelf, and then I decided to make it as a comic. And hopefully, because I did a feature film called Dead Shack that released in 2017. You can watch it on Shudder. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead, and that was, made for not $80 million, but I can work my way up there, and I have a material that I can show, and because it's a lot easier to pitch a movie when you have visuals and written material that they can read. So I kind of did it for that as well. Hopefully, make it into a movie, and then for Ghost Are People 2, it was just like finding that there was not enough morbid, spooky books that I would have loved as a child in the library, and I think I know a lot of kids who love Scooby-Doo and love anything that's skeleton and creepy, and there's not enough of it out there. And if you can pair it up with a beautiful message, why not? So
well, you kind of strike me as somebody that has probably seen this anime. It came out about maybe 15 years ago. It was Shinkoto Makai. I might have mispronounced his name. He's just recently passed away. This guy, for about 4 years, with Photoshop and some pens and paper and Photoshop, this guy put together a 20-minute movie that is a goddamn masterpiece.
Really?
Faces of a Distant Star. And because of this, it launched his entire career throughout doing multiple films that have brought Academy Award nominations. And it all started with one little thing that it started in his basement that was voiced by him and his wife.
That's crazy. That's a great story. You have to find what the actual name is and send us a
Voices of a Distant Star. You can look it up, the 20-minute movie on YouTube, probably easily.
I'll send it in that email when I send you over the Jeremiah stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I just love people that inspire. Just sometimes you never know where life's going to take you, and just one project could lead to the next, and you meet somebody that winds up becoming the next project manager or your editor or maybe even your penciler, and all of a sudden that next project is the one to be the big one.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to be when I was a little kid?
What?
A worker at McDonald's.
Well,
I wanted to marry Michael Jackson. Neither of those came true.
And your life is better for it too.
Yeah.
I concur.
Sometimes it's better that your dreams don't come true.
My dreams were dashed. What are you gonna do? No,
so
like
happy.
remember,
My dreams never came true.
Remember, like in America, those little play like kitchenettes or whatever, Well, they had a McDonald's one where it was like you could cook up the little, and like plastic fries and little things.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, like I wanted that. It's just like, I wanted it so bad, and it was like all I was like, I want to be a worker at McDonald's. I want to like serve these fries, and I was like so into it. Yeah,
I can see that. I used to my dad's my parents' best friend. They had 2 girls that were a bit younger than us, and when we'd play like around Christmas and any holiday like that, my brother and I would join with them and play with the fake cooking set. It was so fun.
Exactly. Yeah,
I don't know why that is so fun, but
it's just like like role playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one for you. Do you still have some of your old artwork back from when you were a child? And do you even remember the first comic or the first images of comic book characters to kind of bring you into this world?
I do have a bunch of drawings. My mom has a box full of them. I don't have them with me now, but I remember my parents hated comic books. I had to buy it in secrecy. It was like buying drugs.
What do you got there?
Yeah. And I remember my mom once told me, Peter, I really feel like what you're doing is wrong. You're burning your money away. And I'm like, Mom, you're smoking cigarettes. You're literally burning your money away.
Oh, we got that in common.
Yeah.
Zinger.
Yeah. So my brother and I, we had to hide them under the bed and in boxes. And yeah.
And she didn't have to hide her cigarettes, did she?
No, not at all. Yeah. So, and then the first comics I bought were, I think Garfield. My parents bought that for me.
Oh, I loved Garfield as a kid.
Yeah. To shut us up when we were like traveling in the car. And then the first ones I bought were probably, Spider-Man. When McFarlane's Spider-Man came out, that blew me away. I must have been 9 years old.
Yeah, it blew every kid away, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. But the pages were black as opposed to white. It was like so dark. The anatomy was crazy. It really just brought me back into comics, and it was like something I wasn't supposed to read that was like so friggin' cool.
It was taboo.
And then when X-Men the cartoon showed up, I think every kid was like so into X-Men at that time, and then I got really into Wolverine, and I bought all the Wolverines. I remember the comic book shop, and the comic book shop owner, he didn't really care about me and my friends. Like, thought we were like just whatever. And then one of his friends said, "Hey, do these kids? That's pretty cool, young kids here. Do they buy anything cool?" And he's like, "No." And then I was thinking, why? If we're there all the time, like, it's his job to educate us,
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, by the way, just here's a free comic. Like, this is really good. You should check this out.
Right.
I'm a comic dealer.
Yeah, comic book. Yeah. But now when I go to comic book shops, I ask them what's good. I ask my friends, and when I was in CJEP, which is like pre-university in Montreal, one of my best friends, he was a bit older than me, and he gave me Batman Dark Knight Returns, and that's the first time I read Batman, and I was like, holy shit, Batman is actually awesome.
Right.
Before that, Batman comics were like, whatever, it's boring. But this one was like, holy shit, this is like a page turner. And then he gave me Preacher as well. He gave me Sandman, but I never got into Sandman.
That one's tough. That one is tough.
Yeah. And then The Watchmen, when I read. Yeah, and then after that, I asked my parents for comic books every Christmas. So got the Hellboys, got The Watchmen. A lot of comic books that my brother was like, this art sucks. Like, why are you reading that?
For the story.
Yeah, by then I was
in the
story. Yeah. And I remember a lot of people, just like me at the beginning, when you don't know how to draw very well, you think that Mike Mignola's work is really boring and flat and shitty. And the more you get to know it and the more you know how to draw, it becomes really obsessive and just perfect. And I remember getting Hellboy for Christmas, and my brother's like, dude, you like this? This is shit. And a year ago, he's like, "Oh, Mike Minogue's work is so good." It's like, do you remember when you thought it was just like, well, I would never say that.
There were even people at a time that even said the same thing about Bill Sinkovich.
Oh yeah,
Did
absolutely.
I say that right?
Sinkovich.
Fantastic. I always defer to Lady Fantastic to the proper pronunciation of Sinkovich.
Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, that's it. It's to the point where he spells it out phonetically, like in all of his social media now. That's how bad that's how bad people screw that name up.
I mean, if people don't know, like, yeah, I even say Buscemi. It's how do you say it? It's not even Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Buscemi, right?
Buscemi. Yeah, it's a hard K. It's a hard K sound.
Right.
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's right. I just think that's how I say it.
Well, I heard him in an interview, and he said it. He said his name. It's like, oh, everybody calls him Buscemi, and we say it wrong all the time. So it's good to remind us, you know.
I remember for years I would say the name of Comico the wrong way. It's Comico is the way it's spelled. I don't know if you're familiar with that publisher from the 90s, but they did.
I can see the logo.
Well, there you go. It's Comico. And I met Rob Anderson, the artist on Elementals, and I was calling it Comico for like 10 minutes, and he stops. He goes, Comico. And I was never more embarrassed in my life.
What if he was just fucking with you?
No. I've heard it since Bill Willingham agreed. He said it's Comico. He said it was Comico.
Well, Bill Willingham agreed.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, he was one of the guys who started there. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. So
very much so. So I know that you can't stay the full amount of time here. So why don't you let the people know where they can find you, your social media, if you have a YouTube page, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what have you. You get the final word, Mr. Peter Berg of, not Peter Berg, Peter Reek. I'm thinking of the director now. Of Ghosts Are People Too. You get the final word.
So Ghosts Are People Too is on Kickstarter right now. So you just go to Kickstarter and the comic illustration section, and you just type Ghosts Are People Too. So that's plural. And then if you go to peterrick.com, it's P like you see, final word out, one word, peterrick.com. You can find all the other work. And then you can go to Scout Comics. You can order the books online there. For One Star Land, King's Vengeance, you can send me a message through my my website. On Instagram, it's prick, so prick. So my first letter is Rick. I swear I'm not a prick, but it seemed like a good idea at the time, and I do regret it. But it's there. You can DM me. What else? YouTube channel. I know you can find everything on my website, and you could see like the films, the videos I've directed, some animation, short films, my photography, my labels, my illustrations, my paintings, my murals. There's a lot of fun stuff in there, and even some TV shows that I've pitched that never got made, and they're quite fun. And I even have the Bible. So let's say you're an artist, aspiring TV show maker, animation, you can see my Bibles, some of them that got picked up and some of them that haven't, and you can base off your Bibles through that. And I mean, for me, it was really helpful when I did see professional Bibles up there. So you can have fun with that.
Very cool. Oh, and you're muted, Rob. Rob, you're muted.
Of course I'm muted because that is very on brand for me. I just wanted to thank you so very much, Peter Reek, for coming on to this show tonight.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. You guys are awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Reek of the new project. Everybody, go check it out. Ghosts Are People Too.
Thank you so much, Peter. Appreciate you coming on.
I got a piece. Thanks so much,
Take care.
guys.
Be safe, man.
Have a good one.
All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye.
All right, so now I guess we're at the part of our show where we can finally start showing books. So Kirk is not joining us. We don't know if he'll be coming in maybe at the end of the episode or if he is driving his brother to the airport right now. So in the meantime, I don't know. What'd you pick up this week?
I gotta go. I can't go first. I left my books upstairs. I gotta go get them.
Okay, lady, or I can do it.
All right. I didn't get many, but here's
I'm gonna be
the
fat.
that I got. I got this Savage Dragon 253. I like to collect books that have political figures on them. So I have all kinds of different. I have a collection with different people on them. I got Scumbag 1. Yeah, pretty excited about that. I got Stillwater 2, Zdarsky. Venom 29 Stegman variant.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool, man. Oh, yeah, I found that. Son of Dracula #1, Atlas Comics. Yeah, she's a pretty copy, too. Harder to find them in nicer condition.
And did you find that at the shop or did you find that at the media shop?
No, I found this at the LCS. Yeah. And this is Fantastic Four 25 with Black Bolt.
Son of Dracula book was awesome.
Yep. Yes.
So's that, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got this in the mail. This was X-Force 13, and this is the Ross variant, Beast. Love Beast. And that's it. That's my haul.
All right.
Very
And
nice.
just a reminder for those at home, we are going to be dropping a link in the chat later on tonight. And yeah, we're going to drop that link. And just remember, this is going to be your tip of the week. Do remember this, that if we don't know you, just show, it doesn't matter which one, just pull a comic book. It can be like this. It doesn't matter. Hold up a comic book and show us you're wearing pants, because we don't want to have a situation. This is the comic community, and I love you, but I don't trust all of you.
Maybe we don't want them to show us if they're wearing pants.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because some probably aren't.
We don't want to be me tubing on.
Dude,
not me.
Dude, and now it's Giuliani. Tubin and Giuliani. What
Oh,
is
God, that was so gross.
Tubin's like showing his junk, and then Giuliani's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I think
Tubin was
today, Tubin's going, you know what? I don't feel so bad.
I know.
At least I'm not being caught in a bedroom with a get away from her. She's 15. She's too old for you.
Oh, God. Couldn't
Okay,
have
back to
happened.
books. Miracleman. What did you get?
So I'm gonna be very limited with what I show, because I got that favorite call this week. If you've watched the show for a while now, you've probably heard me talk about my pawn shop, the local area pawn shop, and the pawn shop gave me a call, guys. So first up, I'm going to show you real quick the new pickups for today. There was a lot of stuff. There was so much I couldn't even bring it all home. But here we have Lady Death Scorched Earth #2.
Sweet.
Maestro #3. Scumbag #1. Honestly, if Rick Remender writes anything, I'll read it. I love Rick Remender. Batman 101. I still haven't read 100. Crazy. Justice League 55. Some of these books feel like they're like just been coming out way too fast. X-Men 13. Of course, you know I had to get my Savage Dragon 253.
Yup.
That cover isn't even in CLZ. My shop owner, the shop owner told me we had to he had to order it a special way to get it.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't like you couldn't just order it normally.
Not a
Yeah,
single one.
You couldn't just do a normal diamond order. Like it was something special you had to do to get them.
Rob, your place didn't get any?
Nope.
There were 2 at mine. I can go back and see if they had. Actually, there were 3 at mine, but one was a variant that didn't have Kamala and Joe. But I can go back if they had the other one.
It's actually okay because I've been putting together a run where I was just going to be sending him over to Miracleman anyway.
Well, that's nice of you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool. I want it, but it's one of those. It's
You
cool.
can live without it.
For the election, I'll forget about it. Kind of like the Colbert Spider-Man or the Obama Spider-Man, or
I like my political comics. I have a whole little subsection.
you have a niche going on there, so that makes sense.
It's fun.
The Obama Savage Dragon books are highly collectible books, boys and girls.
Yes, they are.
I have one of them.
They're
No,
very
wait.
good.
I have it's not Savage Dragon, but it's Liefeld on Young Justice.
Young Blood.
Yeah.
He did a Young Blood. Yep. So next up, we got a Madam Satan. This is from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Remember that book? I think the last one came out 2014.
No.
In fact, I think what the one guy came on, he was like, that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that book's dead. That's never coming back, brother. You remember he was on the show.
This is
right
played
so
by
far.
Michelle Gomez in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina at the Netflix show. She loves the hell out of her, and the Robert Hack variant is the one I picked up, but I'm very much looking forward to reading this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was great. Dark Knight's Death Metal Robin King came out today. And I think that's about it for new stuff. Now, I'm only going to show you the highlights of the back issues, guys, because I picked up a bunch. Most of them were, T-ish, because when you get a chance to grab them, you got to look for the ones that are going to be harder to find. But a lot of it was just filling in runs. I got a nice big chunk of Captain America, a nice big chunk of Daredevil. And if you want to see all of them, come visit me over on Twitter at Komodo1977. I post every book that I get.
Women's comics. Nice.
From 1974, women's comics number, I think it's 8. The reason I got this, guys, Melinda Gebbie worked on this book. This is her cover. For those of you who don't know, Melinda Gebbie, collaborator with Mr. Alan Moore. She was the illustrator on the Lost Girls book.
Oh.
I have been looking for the women's comics. These are black and white. They're all women creators. There's a woman editor. Everybody involved is a woman. And it's, a black and white underground book from the 70s. They're not easy to come by. And a local seller had it, ran right over and got it, and I've enjoyed having it very much so. Here we have Action Comics number 255.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
This is, I'm going to get you, Ace. This is this is the first appearance of Bizarro Lois. For those of you who are just listening, Ace just wrote, who's Alan Moore? Has he written anything noteworthy? That's all right. She's my homegirl. She can mess with me. So Action Comics 255. First, Bizarro Lois. I'm a sucker for Bizarro stories. She's a little rushed. She got a little pen mark there. She got a little chunk there, but the staples are attached.
It's a 10-center.
Yeah, 10-cent book. Technically, this is silver because it's 1958, I think it was, that this came out. Now I'm going to show you something. You're not going to believe this. Alf number 1. Hey, listen, this guy, this pawn shop guy, he got a collection. Looks like it was dealer stock. Every book I have, almost. Let me back up. Almost every book I pulled looked like it was dealer stock that had never been cracked.
Did he have a 48?
He didn't. I looked.
He did not look.
He had like 10 copies of like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of them looking brand new, like they had just come off the shelf.
Ooh.
Aliens versus Predator number 1. Now I got the first 3 issues. I'll show you those real quick. 2, 3. Got a bunch of Predator books. Alien Worlds #4. This is a Dave Stevens cover, guys.
Nice.
Not an easy one to come by. Not an easy one to come by. Captain America 250.
Ooh.
Ooh, we're getting an echo back there. Whoa, 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 whoa. So there's that one. This is the nice go vote. Go vote. Please, for the love of God, people, go vote. Then, again, not going to show you everything. Going to skip over a whole bunch of stuff here. I got a huge run of that Captain America stuff. In fact, I got a nice high-grade, unread copy of the first appearance of Team America. Now you're going to ask me, some of these books, they must have been pricey. Everything I got from the pawn shop was $1, except for that Action Comics. That Action Comics was $10. The women's comics, that was like $9. That was a different dealer. Dark Horse Presents 34. Now, this isn't the first appearance of aliens in the Dark Horse books, but this is like the third. Very early.
Yeah, this came 6 months after the Aliens #1.
Right. This is if you ever read Walking Dead, there was a series that ran for years and years and years before that. There was a black and white zombie book called Dead World. Went through a whole bunch of publishers. Started at Arrow Comics, which I'm willing to bet you probably don't own any Arrow Comics. Here's Dead World #1, very first appearance of the characters. I got a nice little run, like the first 10 issues. Killer. $1 a piece. And again, you're going to go, why'd you buy this? Kids Comics. Kids Comics, high-grade Kids Comics. Disney's Little Mermaid #1. This book has never been outside of a comic book store before.
I can believe
It's
it.
mint. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Kids Comics gets destroyed. We all know that.
Yep.
But then
And
eventually those kids, they grow up, they got money, and they're willing to buy stuff. Now we go from Disney's Little Mermaid. Hey, see you later, Whack. We go from Disney's Little Mermaid to Faust. This is a first printing of issue 1. And here we got a first printing of issue 6. That's pretty visceral right there. Flaming Carrot #24. Dude, I just love those covers. All the Flaming Carrot covers. I love them. They're fun. Hulk 300. That was $1. 324. That was $1. I got the 25th anniversary with $3.25. I got this one for $1. Also got that Iron Man 212 25th anniversary. There we go. Marvel 2-in-1 #3 and #9, $1 a piece. Then we got 75 there. That's a righteous cover right there, man.
Yeah, it
Look
is.
at that. This has never been read by anybody. These books, you can tell. If you can't really tell because they got these shitty 1980s bags. Look at how yellow the tape is. I haven't even changed it. Look how yellow the tape is. I don't know if you can
Probably
see
been
it.
the
It's
same
yellow.
bag that it's been in since the day it was put in it.
Absolutely. And since the day it came out, or they pulled it off the shelf.
Since 1988.
This one here is 1982. This here is easy a 9.4, 9.6 maybe.
Real quick,
That's high.
we're
high grade.
joined by somebody because if you're watching the show, you got it. Comics on the Mind.
I want that book. I want
There
that
he
book.
is. What's up, buddy?
Up, y'all? My bad. I hella overslept.
No worries. All right.
Glad you're here.
Oh
yeah. Hell yeah. So I got a
Hope we're gonna
huge.
finish up with Miracleman and then show yours.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up anything today.
Oh, that's right. So I finished my Moon Knight run. I need one issue 30.
Ooh,
But look at these.
no way.
Oh my
Look
God.
at them. Look at them.
You got that one.
Uno Dolero. $1
Dang. What's up, Ace?
$1 books. You know, I realized something buying all these. I knew this, but seeing so many of them at once.
Mm-hmm. No!
Oh.
My heart!
$1.
Oh.
Seeing so many of them at once, I realized all of these covers are incredible. All of them.
Should have bought them all.
I said if you guys need some Moon Knight, send me your list. I'll pull
I
it.
told you, dude. I need 29, bro.
29.
I just need 23.
All right, text me because I'm
Kirk?
I'm falling apart here, but yeah, I'm gonna hit him up again. He's got another another dozen boxes coming to the shop. I'm gonna be hitting him up again next week.
Nice.
Now everyone knows I don't like Spidey that much. Not a big fan. But Spectacular 66 and 69 here has some amazing covers. They're just awesome covers. And then I got the 25th anniversary number 120. There we go.
Wow.
Crap ton of Predator books. I'm just going to show you one. That's Predator number 2.
Nice.
His original series at Dark Horse. And then
2 and a 4.
Dan Slott's very first time writing Spider-Man for Ren and Stimpy number 6. Very high grade copy. And along with that, I found this.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
High nines, man. High nines. Then we got a Savage She-Hulk number 50.
Oh,
Nice?
pretty.
Pretty cover. Pretty cover.
Shiny.
I was so happy when I saw these. Literally, my jaw dropped when I saw them.
Oh, nice.
1 and 2. Written by Stan the Man Lee and drawn by Mobius. That's a first print of TMNT Adventures, number 1.
Oh, those are the ones I read as a kid.
Yeah, man. Again, real high grade. Doesn't ever look like it was read. Couple of the what ifs.
Oh my god.
Real nice ones.
I've never seen that one before.
Check this one out. Oh, that's a cool one. Check this one out. $1.
Oh, nice. It's when he switches with Conan.
That's his very first. That's like the precursor to the story that they eventually turned into World War Hulk. But on top of that, this issue has the in continuity Eternals explanation of where the Eternals and Deviants come from.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Remember that being
I got
something
that
was part of the top 10 stuff.
Yep. So there's number 27 of there's the what if the Phoenix had not died. Another tough one to come by.
You need to find me 10.
Yeah, you got it. And I'll keep my eye out. I got this book. The next one I'm going to show you. This is my 3rd Golden Age book, guys. Okay. I bought it for $10.
What'd you get? Oh.
Target Comics. You can barely see the comics right there. Okay. 1947. 47. This has Target Comics had the original appearance of Target and the Targeteers, which were characters that later showed up in Alex Ross and Jim Kruger's Project Superman. Superpowers, sorry. So great series. Okay. These were flea market finds, real fast. Avengers number.
Oh, no way.
That was $1. There's 11.
Nice.
That's a great cover.
First full and first cover of Crossbones.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
What issue?
362.
362.
Here is Doc Savage number 4. Got that for $1.
Badass.
I also got all the Glam Girl covers from DV8. Here's that Dave Stevens. That's Pride.
Reflection.
Reflection cover. There's
Dave
Greed.
Stevens worked on Image.
That is the one and only Dave Stevens cover for an Image book that, at least that I'm aware of.
Huh.
Yeah. I got a couple copies of it. It's a nice book. Flash Gordon. This is very near the end of the run, 36. I think it's the second to last issue. It's the Whitman reprint. And I just wanted to say, guys, if you're ever out and about and you see some Gen 13 books, stop and take a look. I'm not going to say anymore. Just going to put that there. Adam Hughes cover, Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes. You know, if it says Adam Hughes, I'm buying it. Lady Death, the original Boundless mini. So when he first got to Boundless, he did the mini. This was just Lady Death. There was no, Scorched Earth or Death Falls or whatever. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Bumper Compendium Edition, Parts 1 and 2 of Volume 2. Why'd I buy this? I have the whole series. These are really not very high print runs. This is actually the second printing of this book. And I think we're talking a print run of something like 3,500. It's real low. And Metalmans. A couple Metalmans. Oh, yeah, look at that. A couple more Savage Dragons. Savage Dragon. Century number 2. These are all dollar books, guys. Super Friends 28. Listen, even if you don't like Super Friends, this is a book to get. Look at that cover. Look at everybody on there. And you know who drew it?
All the villains of the era.
You know who drew it?
Kirby? No.
Fredone. She's a fantastic artist. I think she's like 83 years old. She's still drawing. She just did this great piece that Linda Carter retweeted. That was Wonder Woman catching a certain politician in the Magic Lasso. Lady, you said pick up Uncanny X-Men starting at 400 again, right? Kind of ignore the 300, start again at 400.
I mean, no, but sure.
Well, there's 401. I thought that was a cool ass cover.
Oh, yeah.
And last but not least, actually, I got two more. I'm sorry. Second to last one. Second printing of Vision number 4.
Ooh.
And the last book here I'm going to show you. This one was $5. I love these books. Thunder Agents. If you don't know Thunder Agents, it's a comic book property that has been published by like 6 different companies, and nobody can seem to keep it printing. But man, they are some cool ass characters. So that's it. That's what I got this week. Like I said, I did have some more. If you wanted to see the rest of them, come on over and see me on Twitter. Make an account just to say hi. If you want to just talk about comics, we'll just talk about comics. We don't talk about anything else.
All right. In that case, I guess it's about my time to start doing this thing?
What's in the briefcase?
What's inside?
This little bastard open then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Switch my camera around, and I don't have it set up like the usual way, so let's just get right into it. So I have some comics, and you kind of notice I have something in the background that came in. Yeah. So, because Lady Fantastic forwarded me over for a completely different book, I wound up somehow, even though he had 0 pictures of it, I wound up getting this.
Oh, nice. I saw that.
First Rhino. Nice. And I'm not going to take it out, but this probably has the best looking back cover I have ever seen in my life. Well, at least as far as something from 1964. So here we have some of the new books, and the book I was initially trying to get was this one. Defenders number 84.
Nice.
Badass.
All right, let me throw this up here. Oh, very nice week, he says. Yeah, but not for life. Life is hell. That's why there's comics, right? So let me throw up my branding here so you all know where to find me. There we go. All right, so the first book of the week, this just felt kind of unnecessary. Amazing Spider-Man 50 LR. I don't exactly know what the LR stands for, other than you should probably pick this up because something's going to happen that attributes to the rest of the story. I don't know. Daredevil number 23. This has been pretty damn amazing so far. Spider-Man has a heart-to-heart with Daredevil. That was fun. And some more Electra action. And this was the timeless variant of the same thing. And here we have the Art Germ variant of Fantastic Four, number 25. And let's see what anybody's saying in the chat here. Damn that Rhino, yeah. Just finished a bag and boarding and ran out of the last comic. I know exactly how that feels. I just go to the comic that I have that doesn't mean nearly as much and just take that out and just switch it around, because if you can afford the book, you can afford bags and boards, but at the same time, while I say that, I can still destroy a book. Not on purpose. Here is Guardians of the Galaxy number 7 that came out this week. Oh, hey, we have Julio Maldonado. Good to see you, my man. And of course, outside of comics, it has sucked. That is just 2020. Where's the Flash love? There was no Flash that came out this week. But you know what did come out this week? Alex Ross and Iron Man number 2. I have not gotten a chance to read that one yet, but it is on the reading list. It's Cantwell, so yeah, your mileage may vary. This is the second print of Miles Morales Spider-Man number 18.
Badass.
This was the, I guess, first appearance of the clone of Miles Morales. And here we have the Maestro number 3, and I guess this is following more of a let's try doing the whole story over again of Maestro, and I'm still digging it. This is, strangely enough, the timeless variant of this was $1 more, while the regular version was still $3.99. Timeless variant of the Spider-Woman, issue 5.
Interesting. I don't remember if my LCS had that or not. I know they had Spider-Women, but not that one, I don't think.
Yeah, I keep hearing from people, why aren't they doing Galactus? Why aren't they doing Korvac? It's like, have you noticed? They're only doing the heroes right now. Just get the heroes, because probably by December they'll be getting to the villains. Thor number 7, second print.
Very cool.
Just that dude that was in the town that just happened across Mjolnir, picked it up and went, well, that was easy. Apparently everyone can do it now. Yes, everyone can do it now. Werewolf by Night number 1. This introduces a whole new fleet of werewolves. Haven't read it yet, but is on the reading list. Now, things that I have read has been the X-Men long-form crossover series. X of Swords. So Excalibur felt very exposition-y, and they really could have trimmed this down. No major first appearances or anything going on in that book, but they did have a pretty awesome-looking Kurt cover.
Yeah, my LCS is that. I'm sad.
No.
It's okay.
Well, if you can't get it, I'll throw it into your pile. I don't need doubles of everything. Just let me know. Which, by the way, I still need to go into my Sandman box, see if I have that first black orchid for you. And this was the X of Swords X-Men number 13. This really propels the story forward, finally.
You know, I have not even been following that X of Swords.
You could probably jump in with the X-Men Stasis that probably comes out next week. It's the only X-Men title to come out next week. So I'm sure it'll give you a sweet little teeny tiny wrap-up of what's been going on in summary. So that way you can go, oh, okay, I guess I can pick it up from here. And really, it's just main titles, X-Men, Marauders, and then any of the one-shots. And you're probably good on the titles. This was the Cyclops variant. The non-BDSM Scott. Juggernaut number 2. And I don't know, I wasn't going to pick up issue 2, but when I see that he's fighting the Hulk, why not? Venom 29, this actually kicked some ass. Now, in Venom 29, you kind of find out that, and we already knew, Dylan is Codex, and you kind of find out how Codex took over the world, and this superpower is pretty sweet. Oh, 10? Oh, okay. What's thumbs down? Well, thanks for the view. Now, this is the book that I know that Ace, which, by the way, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, and Helen Mirren. Here's your Madam Satan, Robert Hack variant. Now, I was trying to pick up all the variants for these. Anything that had Robert Hack or Francavilla on it, I want those covers. They just elicit just this great sense of, I don't know, atmosphere, especially during Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Awesome cover.
And I just love the bad girls. Speaking
He can't draw
bad,
anything bad.
No, he really can't.
He can't.
Speaking of bad, Scumbag number 1.
Yeah.
Definitely my kind of guy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I can't wait to read this. I mean, the cover alone was enough to bring me in, and the fact that it's writing, I'm good. Rob doesn't like me. I'm a goodie, so says Ace. I know you better than that. Ain't none of us innocent. No, she's cool. Speaking of cool, Stillwater number 2, I have not gotten a chance to read this, but being that this is a town where if you go into it, you'll probably wind up dying, but that's okay because it's a town that no one dies in unless they drag your ass outside of the town. Then you're probably in trouble, which is why I really got to read this. Spoilers on issue 1. Oh, another spoiler. And in this one, we wind up having in issue 110 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a backup that is the preview for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. We're not going to know if we still don't know. I read it. It's only 6 pages. We still don't know if The Last Ronin is Michelangelo, Leonardo. We don't know. We just know that this turtle is like hearing voices of his fallen brothers. Like, hey, I'm sold.
Well, yeah.
Batman 101, they're trying to advance the idea of Batman forward, and they're doing a pretty good job. I'm loving Tynion's work on this. Please stop with all the spinoffs. And as much as I'm saying that, I kind of get the fucking Robin book. 26, I got both covers, completely accidental, but yeah, there they go.
Nice. Who did that cover?
So this one is
that Stepien?
I don't know. I don't know if this is Hans or you got me. Let me know in the chat, folks.
Oh, Frizzon's on the left. Frizzon's on the or on all the Siamese cats.
Yeah, nice. This one has the first appearance on the cover. I guess that's why I probably ordered it. And I just have a full run of all the variants on this one. And I completely forgot I probably shouldn't be picking up these ones because of who's involved. But the first issue, I'll just get this one and that'll be that. But I have all the issues of everything else. I'm curious. I want to know what goes on. And if it sucks, it sucks. But at least I know. I don't want to judge before I read it. Right. Speaking of judging before I read it, despite the fact I really do like this little snot-nosed punk-ass bitch character that can really do some damage.
Jeez.
Hey, this cat here is Batman as a little kid, but totally evil. I mean, Batman Who Laughs,
super evil.
Yeah, he seems dark, but this kid is twisted, and he's enjoying it. The other Batman, he's like, I can do this because I'm Batman. The other one's like, yeah, I'm Batman. I'm having a good fucking time doing it. Like, yeah. That's So I'm actually looking forward to reading the Batman Robin kit. What I'm not looking forward to reading too, because I just haven't read the last few, but I should probably jump onto it, is part of the Death Metal series.
The last two are actually good. They gave you some details about the Death Metal world that we haven't gotten in anything else because it's just been one nonstop fucking roller coaster in the main series.
Oh, yeah. And apparently right here, Flashpoint says he absolutely loved Robin King, so that's good. So let's see, what else do we get here? We now have, finally, after issue 74, Nightwing is back to being Nightwing. No more Rick. It's back to being Dick. The resolving the issues that was his previous relationships in the series. So there's going to be an issue 76. I thought it ended here. My bad.
I thought it ended there too.
I think everybody did. And here is the Peach Momoko variant. I didn't get it because it's Peach Momoko. I just got it because I have every single variant cover of the Teen Titans. And Peach doing Crush, so not bad. Those were the books I picked up this week and a little bit earlier in the week, and I still have some stuff coming in, hopefully from Wolf Blitzed, along with who else? I know there's one other person. I can't remember. But I know that when those books come in, I will probably be doing a show with Lady Fantastic on Friday night, if not Saturday night. So stay tuned for Lady Fantastic's channel. And now I guess we should... well, I don't know, probably get to the next part of the show. So I guess that would be, community hangout. So I can go ahead, drop the chat, and if there's anything everybody wants to talk about, we can talk about that.
Hey, you know what? Actually, Mr. On the Mind, you and I both got an A-OK from the same person.
I did.
I got mine Saturday.
Oh, you did? I thought yours was coming
Yes.
out at the end of this week.
It was supposed to, but it showed up early. It showed up early, so I got mine. So for everybody, I think you're frozen too.
I am.
For everybody, for everybody at home, we're talking about our guest from, what was that, last week or the week before? That we had Michael from 215.
Oh, that was last week. And
that was last week.
We'll come back in just a moment. And real quick, Lady Fantastic, I know that she needs to drop out to get other things done because she has a very busy life. So why don't we give her the chance to, I don't know, go ahead and promote herself.
I'm Lady F. My channel's Lady Fantastic. Rob and I do nerdy stuff and show off books on Friday or Saturday. On Saturday morning with the Saturday morning cartoon crew, we have auctions. And other than that, you can catch me around. I'm on IG and I'm sleepy and I'm sorry that I'm sleepy.
It's okay, Lady Fantastic. For every person that drops out, we'll bring a new person in until it's about midnight. And at that point, that's when I realize that my boss kind of hates me for doing this show every now and then and it's giving me an 8 a.m. So I'm going to need to go to sleep myself. So thank you very much, Lady Fantastic. Looking forward to Friday and or Saturday. Good night.
Night. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye.
She leaves, and Mindshift joins.
He's still frozen. That is crazy. Let me unplug my camera. Maybe that needs to be.
That's the culprit.
Probably. That's what winds up happening all the time. And oh wow, that would be interesting.
Ooh.
Ace would hop on and talk about her Helen Mirren book.
Do it, Ace.
Why not? Right? I mean, this is a comic YouTube show. We wind up talking about movies. We wind up talking about, hey, what did you eat for breakfast this morning? And that has been a subject once for 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, because we're weird. This is just kind of what happens when you do a comic book YouTube show, and it's very freeform and it's live. And when it's live, anything can happen. And right there is the StreamYard link. So if you at home have a camera, a microphone would help. And if you don't have a microphone, just get really close to the camera so you can talk at it. And then just make sure, if we don't know who you are, as I kind of put this up here earlier, that there's a little tip. We don't know who you are. Show us a comic and show us you're wearing pants. And if you're okay, it's fine. Wear a dress. Show you're not going to do something weird because it's 2020 and we've already been yanked down from YouTube once before. And we don't want episode 62 to happen again. But if it happens an hour and a half in, at least it'll be the way to go. Hey, so that's how we end our show now.
So real quick, I just wanted to say thank you to Michael from 215 Inc. He sent me these books here. He sent some to Comics on the Mind as well. Warped, Supernaut, and the first chapter of Immortal. And Supernaut is the book that Michael did himself. I cannot recommend this enough. I'm about halfway. Well, I guess I'm further. I guess I'm about 7/8 of the way through. And if you're a fan of when Grant Morrison is allowed to play in a multiverse, you will like this book. Okay, that's all I got to say about it. Awesome book, Supernaut, like cosmonaut, but super.
So I think that there may be somebody that may have something to say about that. And first, he might be Comics on the Mind.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
And thanks for not being
damn technology.
But why don't we say, for the very first time on the Not Near Mint show, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, in case we don't see you again. Hello to Ace.
Hi.
Ace!
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah.
What up, Ace?
So clear.
Helen Mirren book.
She really got a Helen Mirren book.
Ace, our homegirl. She can show whatever she wants.
Oh, yeah. He was not prepared.
There's more.
Everybody is blown.
That's awesome.
We finally get to see you for the first time, and wow, what an introduction!
Only I can do that. It's fine.
So, did you finally get a chance to run to the shop yourself today?
Yes. Eat.
Ooh, you got a stack of comics.
I'm gonna blow you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Some
Oh,
of these
yeah.
are from a couple weeks ago, but I just finished bagging and boarding everything.
Right on.
So, something's killing the children.
Are you digging that book?
Oh, nice.
I like it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People keep recommending it. Big girls.
It's good.
Engine Ward.
Oh, I don't know that one. Faithless. Do you have the naughty cover too? Yeah.
She gets every issue, every single last cover.
Family Tree.
Yes, that's my story.
I love Family Tree. That's not mine. This is my husband, dude, person's book. But yeah.
This that fella that's around.
Okay.
You threw that thing away as though it were on fire.
Well, it's because I saw my wife.
Oh yeah.
So when I get to her.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Zane.
That's a cool cover. That is a cool cover in that book. I love this book.
I want that one. Thank you for reminding me. I'm about to go add that to my list right now.
So inside, there's like these QR codes that you can like listen to music while you read the comic, which was neat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Willow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
My favorite Buffy character.
I love Willow. Miles to go.
Tell me from Buffy that your favorite scene of the entire series wasn't. Bored now.
No.
Oh, the skin being ripped off that guy after he murdered her girlfriend that was awful. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. That happens.
He's known for that.
Kira and the Royal Stars.
Awesome. Very cool looking.
Batgirl.
Ooh.
Ooh. Nice. Holy Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Love it. Love
That's a
it.
great cover.
Hashtag love it.
You like Batgirl?
Catching up on Batgirl.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch up, and the shop had everything, so I grabbed it all.
To be fair, how do you not how do you dislike a beautiful woman who can kick ass? Like,
I don't know. I don't love myself, but I'm a beautiful person if you kick ass. Bleed them dry.
Nice. Oh, that was so good.
I didn't like this one.
Oh no,
Didn't like it.
Steve Orlando was talking about it. I think there's some great stuff coming.
Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna stick with it. A few more issues.
Lonely Receiver.
Favorite series right now.
No One's Rose. Man, you're a woman after my own heart. Look at all this indie stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen any of this stuff. This is awesome.
Gorgeous.
Like the series, and I might get every single cover.
Wow. I was that guy with the old Transformer stuff from Devil's Due.
Ooh, Willow.
That's an awesome cover. Nah.
On the Stump, which was really good. I only got it because reasons.
Booty.
She got it for the article, guys. She got it for the articles. You know, that Seven Secrets, the art's not something that would normally draw me in, but it works for that book.
Same.
Nice. Vampire Masquerade. Does Seeley have a story in that issue of
I don't know.
Vampire?
I haven't
You don't
read
know?
it yet.
No. Nice. Parody.
That's it besides books. Oh,
Books.
manga thinking.
Nice. Was that a naked person on another person on that cover?
Manga,
Was that what that was?
Yeah.
All right. You can get away with
Virginia
that.
Woolf.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
Orlando.
Whatever this is, it came in the mail. I get paid to write book reviews.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Nice.
And that's it.
Anxious people. Huh. 3 perfect liars.
Well, we also have somebody else joining us now, and hopefully he's good to go.
Cool.
Sorry, having some camera trouble. We got the Flashpoint Comics.
What's up?
Flashpoint.
What up? What's up?
Oh, and he's
Did we lose
strapped up.
Flashpoint.
Oh,
No.
Come back, Ace.
Let's go.
She sees you when she runs.
I have that effect on women, so it's all right.
I thought.
did you dribble? Are you good?
I know.
Do I have a boogie in my nose? Do I need to get close up to the camera? No, maybe I should.
Do I smell?
So Flashpoint, what you got to show us, homie?
Dude, I nothing. I sold everything, man. I got diagnosed with macular degeneration in my eyes. The doctors gave me 5 years of eyesight left, so I just basically sold off every comic I own except for every new book I picked up in 2020. January 1st, I'm going to give away to all of you guys. I'm going to do a live stream and give away everything I purchased in 2020. So,
Wow,
yeah,
brother.
Oh, I mean, I picked up these. I mean, because Shazam, I love Jeff. Like, this run of Shazam was so good, and the covers were great. So I have those.
That's a badass cover.
Yeah. Other than that, no, I just came to say hi to you guys. You guys I haven't talked to you guys in a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Here I thought Comics on the Mind did something to offend you.
Well, he sent me some questionable pictures that I can't show on camera. I told him
I'm sorry. I was drunk that night.
Yeah,
You ain't
because
sorry.
Don't drink a lot of alcohol.
I told him I wouldn't show you guys, and I'm a man of my words. So.
Oh man, this is
Don't
all this is
say
going
nothing.
downhill for you. It's going downhill for you, comics.
And Ace says she'll be
Oh,
right.
no, that's where Ace was. Her job is mad at her.
Hey, Flashpoint, man. I'm sure you're not here for a pity party or nothing. You never struck me as that kind of guy, brother. But hey, I'm really sorry to hear about it, man. And nothing but good thoughts for you, brother.
Oh no, exactly. I mean, I just came here to talk about death metal because if you guys, most of you guys are Marvel fans, which is whatever. I'll give you a break there because you guys are great people. But,
you and me, baby. You and me on DC.
I'm trying.
If you guys haven't been reading death metal, no, I don't want pity. I mean, it happens, and you just got to keep going with the punches. But like death metal, that's the one series I'm gonna finish. By God, this year, I'm picking up every cover because, I mean. Everyone Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder's right. Everyone it's just craziness. You mentioned it earlier, where it's just a nonstop train of just fuckery everywhere. But I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, I hate that. So again, back to me talking about Wally West versus Barry Allen. See, there we go.
Yeah.
I'll give you a break for those pictures now.
Marvel fan. Reading.
Yeah, I'm such a Marvel fan, right? Such a Marvel fan. Such a Marvel fan.
It's too much Marvel. It's too much Marvel.
But the only thing I don't like about death metal is this goes back to my whole belief of that the only reason why Wally West is relevant is because writers keep trying to force him to be relevant. So I feel like they're doing the exact same thing in this book. But other than that, I love how they're bringing all the characters together. Like Death Metal 4, what they did with Superboy Prime, they caught the essence of what Superboy Prime was for me. I feel like they just kind of expanded his character so much. And Scott Snyder is great. Everyone kind of shits on metal. Everyone kind of is shitting on death metal. If you guys aren't reading this, you guys, it's a great story, and it's, I guess it's gonna lead into Future State, which is DC's 5G, which isn't 5G, whatever bullshit they're doing.
There's only one book I care about this entire thing, and that's John Ridley's Batman. Everything else can burn.
Do you know what see? I was gonna give the Flash a chance because I was kind of waiting to see where they went with it until I read the whole synopsis was Barry Allen got kicked out of the Speed Force. Wally West is now possessed by something, trying to kill all the other. I was like, okay, yeah, nope, I'm out of here.
You're like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we just have the storyline? I mean, it feels like that one wasn't very long ago where Wally was a bad guy.
Oh, Flash! Heroes in Crisis. It was Heroes in Crisis, wasn't it? Where he lost control and killed everybody.
Yeah, it was just last year. Yeah, it wasn't even. Wow. It was no time ago. Yeah, we should talk about that Future State, seeing as how it just dropped this week.
So Future State. So I'm gonna be honest here. So let's be real here. Obviously we're not gonna get into politics here, but my belief is I believe in happiness for everybody. People aren't going to believe in what my gun carrying thoughts and stuff like that. But I believe everybody deserves happiness. But when it comes to comic books, I don't purchase comic books. So here's the thing. If they want to make a black Batman, by all means, make a black Batman. I'd be down for that. But don't try and sell it to me in a way oh, we're going to kill off Bruce Wayne and we're going to kill off all the original, Justice League members to make all of these politically correct characters. You know what? When in Metal, when they did the Bat Signal, I loved him as a character, and he was African American. He was my favorite character to come out of Metal with Bat Signal, and and they want to talk about being more diverse and everything else. Jon Stewart as a Green Lantern, make him relevant, make him a good story. You have so many characters. You have Gary, what the hell is the Green Lantern name? God, I hate the Green Lantern, so I can't even remember.
Hey! I'm a Green Lantern fan now.
Who was the Golden Age Green Lantern? Alan Scott.
Alan Scott.
He was gay. So like,
Yeah, they made him gay in Earth 2.
Yeah, well, but like if we're looking, Static Shock. Like, I'm so glad he's getting a movie. Like, there's tons of politically correct characters that they don't need to be like for them to be doing future state is crap. Like, let's use the characters. If you're gonna try and make your whole platform more diverse and make it like politically correct to fit the agenda of people, let's do it the right way. And let's use the characters we already have. I don't want new politically correct characters because DC and Marvel both have such a plethora of characters that are politically correct. Let's use them. Why are we letting Jon Stewart rot? Like, I love.
There's no agenda.
Well, here's the thing. I think that you're going to see with some of this stuff. They are trying some of these characters out. We have the Brazilian Wonder Woman, and there was just a third Amazonian tribe found in Brazil. I think Orlando added that in his Wonder Woman annual story last year. There's some truth to, we have a lot of characters that exist already that they're not using. I think that's true. And I was speaking to a friend of mine not too long ago who's a comic creator. I'm not going to say his name, but if you read comics, you probably know him. And he said something similar. We were looking at the Gary Frank covers that were being repurposed for death metal. Okay. And the covers they're beautiful. I love Gary Frank's work. And it's three of the generations. It's your golden age generation, it's your silver age generation, and it's your modern generation. And instead of just throwing and scrapping that art, because 5G is getting scrapped, they're making them the 1 in 25 variant for the last 3 issues of death metal. Okay. And I would love to get them. But if you look at those 3 covers, they don't have Jon Stewart, and I think Cyborg shows up in the Teen Titans, and that's it. I think they have 1 person of color on the whole thing, and I think they have 2 women. And the character roster of DC in particular is very diverse. They have a lot of very diverse characters, and I think they should have worked some more of those in there to showcase those. Yep. For sure, because they do exist already. Let's show them. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on, the agenda driven part. I understand there's different schools of thought there. And I'll say, I think yes, maybe somebody at some level said, hey, maybe we should see if we can market characters that look like other people to other people. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but maybe that did happen. I do agree 100%. We should definitely see some of those characters that exist now a hell of a lot more than we do.
Well, and I'm not saying that, I'm not saying it that they're doing it in a way to be like, like maybe not all politically driven, like, but for me, I've read, like, I loved Jon Stewart in the animated series of Justice League. I thought he was great. And again, that's like you were saying, there's tons of diverse characters. But what I feel like DC is trying to do is what Marvel did, which Marvel failed out a few years ago. They're trying to make all of these characters look like other people and which is what, like for me, like I said earlier, if there was a person like an African-American Batman, I'm all for it. If there was a gay Batman, whatever, I don't care. Like, I don't care what his sexual orientation is. I don't care what his color
There
is.
is a gay Batman. He's called Midnighter.
Yeah, technically.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's gay Batman and gay Superman in The Authority, which is awesome, by the way. And I think more than anything else with Future Shock or whatever they want to call it, I don't care about anything else other than the fact that we now will possibly have more characters running around that could be used for other concept in other writers' stories.
Yeah.
Whether this concept that DC's trying to push right now, good or bad, the positive that we will have come out of this 10 years from now, we might have 1 or 2 or 3 characters, maybe none, that might wind up being used, will become relevant, and it will wind up springing from this event. But by and large, this is like the movie Airplane. That old, what is it, Zemeckis or Bruckheimer.
Oh, yeah.
comedy. Is let's throw everything that we can at the wall and see what sticks. Because right now they know that this is not a model that can keep going on forever. So let's get new characters out there. Let's see what works. Because this is right now DC admitting, we don't know what we're doing. We know you're still going to buy the Batman and other things, but we're trying other things to see what we can make money off of you for.
Listen, if there's a book that doesn't have Batman in it, I support that 1,000%.
Yeah,
and I like
agree.
fucking Batman.
Yeah, not every book has to be Batman.
Well,
Right.
see, but the thing is, though, is don't let DC piss on me and tell me it's rain. This is fucking 5G. Like,
Right, it is.
This isn't the full extent of what 5G was supposed to be, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm okay with potentially new characters. But the thing, though, is that the way they're doing it, so there's going to be no other books. So January and February, there are going to be no other books but these future state books coming out. So it's exactly what 5G was supposed to fucking be. So don't lie to me and tell me, oh, we're canceling 5G. No, you're just repurposing 5G.
Point, this is where you get to call it another positive for you. You get to save a lot of money on DC books.
For those 2 months.
Spend that money on for those next 2 months. You can spend that money on, I don't know, maybe trying to get those back issues of Something's Killing the Children or Once in Future or Redneck, something that you would have spent money on DC. Now you have a chance to focus it on something else.
Oh no, and I agree though, but it concerns me as the state, like, because I mean, I'm primarily a DC fan, and I'm very. You know what? I have to admit, I've been getting into Thor lately, so I know I said on the show that Thor has sucked, but I've been rereading it and giving it a chance, and I've actually been enjoying it. So I'll be the first one to admit that I was wrong, but I mean, I'm getting into there. But like, I'm primarily a DC fan and very minimal Marvel, like 1 or 2 characters from Marvel. So it concerns me though that obviously AT&T and DC as a company, as a whole, like Warner Brothers, like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they're throwing right now. It's obvious that this future state is they're going to pick whatever characters, whatever Batman characters, basically whatever Superman characters stick, and they're going to use them in continuity. My problem is that for us, like, I'm only 25, so I can't really say it's old school collectors because I'm the youngest one here. But
we're going to have to school him on a couple things. So there was something called the Ultimate Universe once upon a time, and the Ultimate Universe was born out of basically just one book. They wanted to restart Spider-Man because at that time, Spider-Man was a flagging, almost worthless character that nobody was reading anymore because of ad nauseum Clone Saga bullshit. And then Brian Michael Bendis, when he was at the peak of his career as a crime noir writer, starts this Spider-Man where he's not a reporter, he's a web designer. And I'm not going to read this. This is trash. And then you read a couple issues. Oh, this isn't bad. But he's not in the uniform in the first issue or the second issue. Or the third. Well, this is actually pretty good by the time you're at the third. And by the issue 13, you're like, this is really good. Wait a second. There's Ultimate Fantastic Four now. What the? Now there's a whole universe. And yeah, they wanted to make money. That's what all these companies are about. And in the end, is Ultimate Comics still around?
Not really.
There's a couple characters here and there, the bombshells from Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales, but otherwise the line is dead. That's what's going to happen again. This is Future Shock being Forever Evil that came out a few years ago. This is a test market. This is
exactly. Well, and that's what I'm saying though, is that I feel like they could still be putting out, like, giving new writers. So the thing is like Joshua Williamson's ending on The Flash, like, best fucking ending I've ever read to a series. Like, his writing, like, he literally cleared up everything that happened, in his story and made it so that future writers could use his characters. Like, they brought back Godspeed. Like, Zoom basically, like, Barry defeated Zoom, but Zoom is still it was great. And I don't see that happening. So, like, whatever, give me Future Shock, Future State, whatever. But I still want to see original Barry Allen doing something else, because none of these books are supposed to be continuity. So continuity is going to stick for, be bland for a couple months, which is whatever, I guess. I mean, 2 months of no comics, I mean, I guess that's fine. But,
we did it earlier this year. We'll do it again.
Here's the thing. Two things, real quick. Yeah, because you know
my
I'm
phone's about to die. I'm gonna hop in the chat and then I'll hop
Okay.
outside when I plug in the charger. I'm listening still.
All right. So two things about DC. And first, real quick, I got to point out this adorable puppy that is obviously very happy right now.
This is
I
Garnet.
thought it was a mini box.
For a minute, I thought she went and got a stuffy and laid it on her lap, but no, it is a living creature.
Garnet.
Yeah, boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl. Yeah, she's very cute. She's very cute.
Girl.
I don't need to see Ace. So here's the thing about DC. So Crisis on Infinite Earths happened in 86 to 87, or was it 85 to 86? 85 to 86, and I think in 87 is when they relaunched all the titles. Man of Steel started in 86, Batman Year One was 86, and I think Wonder Woman was 87. But Crisis on Infinite Earths, when that happened, almost in every event when the Justice Society of America is around, they retire some of the Justice Society of America. They did it on Crisis on Infinite Earths. They did it in Zero Hour. They did it in a couple of the other events afterwards. Some of the heroes retire. They're old. They've been fighting, since the 40s, the 30s and stuff. So they're old. They've had their lives extended. But for the love of God, it's 2020. These fucking guys are old by now. Okay. So in 1986 or 87. They decided to replace 3 of the characters. And the 3 characters they replaced were Dr. Midnight, Hourman, and Wildcat. And what they did was they took 3 characters that were white male characters. One of them was a white male. It was the son of Hourman. He became Hourman too. But Wildcat and Dr. Midnight were replaced by Yolanda Montez and Dr. Beth Chappell, just like in the Stargirl TV show, if you're watching that. All right. So this is what they did was they took characters that had an established market, and let's be honest, the JSA characters in the mid 80s, they were old. They weren't really. I mean, these were not top tier, or the characters people were breaking the doors down to buy their comics. But they took established characters and they put new people in them. And being 87, we didn't have the some of the current conversation that we have today. Some of it gets very toxic. I think, I've talked about it before. Some of the people I've battled with over the years on some of these topics. Some people get really toxic about it. But what happened was they took people that were not traditionally given any type of representation in the media, in comics, and they took established characters and they gave them representation with those characters. And the reason you do it with an established character as opposed to a new character is when you put it in a new character, how hard is it to get a new character off the ground? It's exceptionally difficult.
Impossible.
It's next to impossible. It is very hard to get a new character to build a fan base around them just by putting the new character in. So to me, when I see people going, I'm going to put a person of color into this position, or somebody from the LGBTQ community into this position, or into this character, they're going to take over. They're going to be the legacy hero. Very, very character, very close to my heart. Blue Beetle, Ted Cord. He was shot and killed by Maxwell Lord and replaced by Jaime Reyes. And I'll tell you what, at first, I was the big mad. I loved Ted Cord. He was the character from Crisis on Infinite Earths that I loved him. And it was okay. But here's the thing I recognized. That character, the people they're writing for some of these characters for, isn't me anymore. It just isn't me anymore. I love the fact that all these superhero properties are getting made into TVs and movies and all these different media forms. I'll be honest with you, I don't watch all of them. And the reason I don't watch all of them, and I think I've talked to Rob, I think I've said this to you before, those CW shows, some of them are great. There's some great moments. They're throwing in some characters I never thought I'd see on the TV. But those shows are essentially Dawson's Creek with superheroes.
Yeah.
That's what they are. That's what they are. But the reason that they're doing that is because people want to see it. There's a fan base there. But that just means they made a TV show and they didn't go, what does Miracleman want? They went, what do we think the market wants? What do we think new fans would want? What do we think? How do we keep the properties alive? Because the fact of the matter is, 1977 is in my handle, so it should probably be no hard guess that I'm in my 40s. I ain't gonna live forever, and if there's not kids who are getting into comics or superheroes today, 25 years from now, there ain't gonna be nobody reading them, and that's just the fact of the matter.
We need new readers. We need to bring in new blood. If there's not new blood reading these books, we don't need gatekeepers. We don't need people saying you should be reading this, and if you're not reading this, you're not a real comic fan. No, you know what a comic fan is? This is something that I've seen with Ace on Twitter between us. Like, yeah, what's a comic fan? Someone that reads a comic book.
Right.
I didn't say buy a comic book. I didn't say, whether you liked it or not, just that you read it. That's it. That's all it takes. And there's so much out here. Not everything is going to be for me. I might not be a My Little Pony fan, but I'm not going to say it's shit and shit all over it to somebody that might pick it up and go, hey, I like this. And maybe 10 years from now, they're reading Wonder Woman, or they're reading whatever new indie book is coming out from a small creator-owned creator that's trying to get something off the ground, or maybe that person might be the next creator.
Everybody, I think, knows that I love comics. It doesn't. I think it's pretty obvious. It doesn't even matter what kind of comic. I love comics. I love the medium. I love the art form. And yes, there's characters and stories that I love within there very specifically. But the reality is, I can love it all I want. I can't keep comic shops in business. I can't keep publishers in business, and I can't be the only person that they're making these products for. So when you see something like that happen, I'm going to give you a really good example. Thor. When Jane Foster became Thor, people got super mad. We still hear about it today. Oh, they made Thor a girl. No, they didn't. Thor was still running around in his own series.
Yeah, he didn't stop being Thor. He was still Thor. He was just the unworthy.
He was just depressed.
You still had Thor. You just also had girl Thor.
Yeah.
And it gave them an opportunity to tell stories from a different point of view. I mean, they've been telling stories from Thunder God, who's immortal, since 1964? Maybe we needed to try something a little different, gang.
Yeah, if you're updating the costume and you run out of ideas on costume changes, try changing the character up a little bit.
Right. Yeah, how many changes do they go through on costumes to some characters? Some characters, you see them in a different costume all the time. I swear to God, every Flash costume has changed, and sometimes it's real subtle, but every Flash costume has changed 20 times, man. I mean, they always rotate. They got a little bit of a different thing here, there. You have a lot of these characters whose costumes change over time. And changing the character itself is the same as a costume change, because let's be honest, these are fictional characters. It's real easy to change who the baseline character is. Ace, what do you think?
I had another person. Yeah, definitely.
What?
Oh.
I don't have any thoughts right now.
Okay.
I'm distracted by the puppy.
That's a good distraction. That's a worthwhile distraction.
Yeah, I was just going to say we had somebody that was in my comic shop earlier today that was complaining pretty much in a similar fashion that how Flashpoint was. And we kind of had to remind him that these are fictional characters. You wait until the next writer or the writer after that can walk back anything and everything that has happened all the way up until that point. So if you don't like what's going on right now, stop reading the title. There's plenty of them out there. And then wait a while, jump back in and go, hey, everything's changed. What happened? Oh, yeah, the creative team changed. Don't send death threats to people because you have this guy, Tom King. He wrote a Batman comic that people didn't like. And because of that, he had to go to, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con with a freaking bodyguard. This man was a CIA agent, a former sniper in the military.
Wow.
This man has killed people Yes, this man has killed like terrorists, if that's what you want to call them. But he needed a bodyguard because somebody didn't like the way that he wrote a fictional character.
Right.
Now, what's going on in Batman? I mean, the Bat family is kind of getting broken up in this latest issue of 101. I need to move into. Sorry, I'm spoiling things for you in issue 101. So mute this if you don't want to hear. We're going. We're dropping viewers. So in that issue, you wind up seeing Batman go, "Hey, Catwoman, I need to move into the city." I'm like, "You need a partner?" "No, I need to do this alone." So they're already breaking up the Bat-Cat thing right there. That just took one writer. You didn't like what was going on? That took one writer.
That's the thing. Comics are not. When people get mad about these things, they get mad. Oh, they made this person gay, or this person's a girl now. Here's the thing. A couple things. Two things. One, who was Batman in 1941? Bruce Wayne. Who was Captain America in 1941? Steve Rogers. Who was Superman in 1941? Clark Kent. Who the fuck are all three of those characters now? We have 80 years with some of these characters, and with the Marvel stuff, it's like 55 years. But we have 80 some years with the same characters. They haven't changed that much. Who they are fundamentally hasn't changed. So even when we have these instances where we have a new character come in or a new person, what we're doing is we're not, in my opinion, what's happening is people are going, you know what, this character needs to be changed up a little bit. We need to get some more interest back into him. Let's just change who the character is. But instead of it being 1941, where everything was targeted to a traditional white audience, what we're doing instead is we're injecting the people of color that should have been there all along.
Yep.
So what we're talking about now is making equity. We're creating equity. We're not running an agenda. In my opinion, we're creating an equity that has been lacking for 80 years.
This is why a character like this, the Blue Marvel character, Adam Brashear, getting a character that actually made sense of the Marvel universe, that he wasn't allowed to run around because he had a black man that was running around in the 60s with a power of 1 million exploding suns. Yes, even more powerful than Sentry, but because that scared the hell out of the government, he went, you know what? Okay, I'll stand down. And he lived a normal life until he went, you know what? I really should be doing something about it. And it made sense for everything that was going on in the Marvel universe up to that point. Because, there were just a lot of white people running around in the Marvel universe.
Right.
I mean, you had Luke Cage, but there weren't a lot. Misty Knight, also in part of his book, you didn't have a lot. It took to like the 70s, late 60s maybe, before you started seeing characters with real agency instead of, I don't know, blaxploitation.
Oh, that's what every black character in the early 70s that came from DC, Marvel, minus Black Panther, were blaxploitation characters. They were almost cartoonishly characterized. And I think, there's a reason for that. It's because the bullpen was predominantly white. I mean, you got to give a voice to, if you're going to give a voice to a character that is a black man, who better to write it than a black man? I mean, let's, I'm sure I could write middle-aged white dude. No
have you that character, the Rage?
Oh my God. Yes.
Wait, the what?
Rage. New Mutants or New Warriors character.
Rage, yeah.
Oh,
He's like basically angry.
Right.
Like he's a whole stereotype. Like I read that character and I was shocked to see him. And this is not like 60s and 70s. This is like in the 80s, early 90s. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I know, right? But I love the New Warriors. I love Night of Thrasher. I love seeing like people of color, people that look like me in comic books. But it's like when you're aware, when you're aware of like stereotypes, it's just like come on now, everybody loves his grandma, but they specifically he lives with his he lives with his grandmother. He's trying to protect.
It was a stereotype,
and it was just it was definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
But then when you see stuff like this, it's just like I don't read Green Lantern, but I grabbed it because it's a new Green Lantern story, someone of color, and it's just like it's a great story. You know what I mean? And you don't see a lot of comic books like that.
No, you sure don't.
Time we live
right.
in. Because
Right.
Go to bed. Go.
I keep getting distracted by the dog too.
What's up, Javi? I know, right?
Yeah, good to see you here, Javi. Conquistadors. So we're getting up around the 2-hour mark. So we do it every single episode. It's the promote yourself time. So we have the special guest of honor, Miss Ace. I don't know if there's anywhere that you want people to come see you or if you want people to just leave you alone. But it's your turn. You get the final word.
Oh, then you put.
What happened? Oh, hi now.
My OnlyFans.
Her OnlyFans.
On Twitter and Instagram, I'm Reader Unnatural. So that's about it.
Reader Unnatural, ladies and gentlemen. And there she is. You've been watching her, so you have to remember this is how I wind up getting this new catchphrase. Comes from her. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, and Helen Mirren. All because Ace. So next up, we got Mind Shift. Anything coming up on Mind Shift's channel? Tomorrow night?
Besides tomorrow night? No. But tomorrow night, of course, is the Teacher Lounge, and it is episode 16. So that means it's an even number, and it's going to be on Gorilla Todd Comics channel. So if you haven't subbed him up, sub him up. He's actually close to 500. I don't know if he reached it already. So yeah, we'll be on there tomorrow talking about comics, teaching, and everything else in between. So, and then I will definitely tonight after I eat some din din, I'm gonna be recording and editing a video about this awesome. Hey, the sticker off Miracleman, like it's so cool.
Hell yeah!
But I will be doing an unboxing for that, and I also have another unboxing video that I need to edit. So look out for those 2 videos. But that's it. You can always catch me in the chats, or I'll be lurking in the dark.
We got to get you on an episode of Comic Gories one day, my friend.
I know. I've been, and Matt has already approached me. I'm just nervous because I don't know. I'm always nervous about that. Seconds to look for a book, or is it 30 seconds or 20 seconds?
It's 30 seconds for the first couple rounds, but then for the final championship, you get 45 seconds. It's not nearly as long as you think.
And I think he gives you a list of the potential categories, so you have time to prep too, right? Or am I tripping?
You're definitely tripping. You will definitely I'm running a book. I have seen people trip and fall, and
I definitely might.
I don't think that was the type of tripping he meant. I think he meant, "Am I tripping?" As in, "Am I wrong on that?"
No, you're not tripping. Hey, double meaning, man. I don't know every lingo.
Rob Wurst went way white dude, y'all. Way white dude.
Good night, everybody. Good thing it's the end of the show. I'm a failure.
No, you're not. You're comedic gold, my friend.
And you're shedding viewers like I'm shedding fur. Speaking of which, you get the last word, Mr. Friend, Mr. Miracleman. I know it's not Mr.
That's okay. You can call me Mister. So come on over and see me at Komodo1977 on Twitter. We can talk about comics. We can talk politics. We can talk about comics in politics. We can talk about politics in comics, or we can just talk about comics. So sorry, Ace. A couple of things real quick. I was just on an episode of the Gals of Geekdom podcast. I think it was last week's episode. Might have been the week before. I think it was last week's episode. So definitely check them out. 3 really great ladies, good friends of mine on Twitter. They're a ton of fun. Hardcore geeks, love comics, and very enjoyable people to talk to. So check them out. I was also on my friend Anthony Gramulia. I was on his podcast. He has a new horror podcast going on right now, and I was just on talking about the original 1978 Dawn of the Dead. And that episode will be going out. I just watched
that last night.
Did you? Oh, love that movie.
Yeah, I love it.
That episode will be available on Halloween. Oh, there's Ace. She's back.
Hello.
So check that out. And other than that, make sure you go and check out a couple of real quick shout outs for some friends. Make sure you go check out my friends over at I Freaking Love Comics, IFLC. Sub them up. They do great interviews all the time. They've had some great creators on there, and they're a trio of very lovely individuals. So check them out, give them a sub. And Whack Comics as well, of course. Make sure you check out his channel. And last but not least, Comicsgate is a hate group made up of has-beens, never-wases, wannabes, and the types of people that were kicked out of 4chan message boards. If you are a person in Comicsgate who is not one of those individuals, I'm sorry if I've offended you. But your friends in Comicsgate are all of those things. Other than that, thanks for joining us as always, and have a good night.
Fuck Comicsgate.
Yeah.
I think so. Thank you, Ace. Thank you, Flashpoint, for coming on tonight. Lady Fantastic, I hope you're getting a good night's sleep. We are now going into Thursday, October the 22nd. I hope you all go out and vote. Vote as though your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. And thank you very much for joining us. If you're a replay viewer, thank you for watching. If you're watching live, this is why we do this live, so we can all interact as a community. So thank you very much. My name is Rob Wurst. You can find me on Instagram at Not Near Mint. You can find me on Twitter at Rob Wurst. I don't do Facebook, so don't even try to find me there, because I'm dead there. But instead, if you ever hear I'm missing a book or something, feel free to slip into my DMs. That's the only way I like people slipping into my DMs. Hey, I have a book you're looking for. It might be something like, I don't know, this.
That's pretty.
So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We will be back same time, same back channel. Yeah, we do this every Wednesday at, I don't know why this, there we go. Every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and that's where you can find us. My comic dealer, John Freshley, he does a Instagram claim sale every Sunday at 11 a.m. You can check him out, go sub him up on Instagram. He pops up and does those every now and then, where he'll just zoom around the store and go, hey, you want it? Just say the book and claim. It's that easy. So thank you very much for joining us. And this is the Not Near Mint Show. This is the crew, and we thank you so very much. We shall see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Don't die.
Fuck Comicsgate.
We're a hate group. Absolutely.
Helen Mirren.
Peace out. We love you. Love everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracleman, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint.